Alright guys, now in this particular video we're going to be looking at reports section. So in order for us to go there, we can click on this drop down box and then go to reports, which is the last section of this particular category. And from here, if you want to create a report, you can just create a report by going to create, and then you can use the report design, create a blank report, or we can use the report wizard. We will use that. So I'm going to close this out and I'm going to click on this. It's going to give me a little warning. That's particularly fine. And in here we can pick different tables that we want to use for our reports. And we can also use queries as well, just to show you. So I'm going to close this out. And the reason why we don't see any query because they are not in a selection query mode. For example, this is the delete query. So if you want to change this, I'm going to open this up and I'm going to make this a selection query. So it's going to show me all the tables, all the data for ttemp. So in this case, it's nothing there. And what I'll do is I'll delete this and then go to show tables and then this. And I'll add all this. So if I run this, I have 3 records. So if I go back to my reports and from here click on create, and now if I run the report wizard, and from here I have now 3 options as compared to before there was only tables. So we have T data, ttemp, qtemp data. So in this case what we'll do is we will use qtemp data, and there's a very good reason for why we're doing this, and I'll show you in a minute. So these are the available fields that are available to us. I'm gonna transfer them over. I'm gonna click next. Then it asks, do you want to add any grouping to the level? I'm going to say no. And then do I want to ascend it by anything or descend it by anything? I'm going to say no and just click next. And then it's going to ask me what kind of layout do I want. And I'm going to pick the default one. So I'm going to click next. And then here it's going to ask me what do I want to name this report. And as I said in my previous video where I use my own standardized convention name thing. So in this case for reports I use capital R and whatever name that I want to name it. So I will stay with the temp data so that way everything is consistent. So I'm going to click finish, and then there is the report. As you can see, there's nothing fancy about it, but being that we have used a query to create this report, we can manipulate the data that can be displayed here. So right now it's showing all 3 records of this particular report. However, if we want, we can show only 1 record or we can only show 2. So let's go in here and I'm going to the query section, put this in a design view, and then from there I'm gonna say take this particular part out because I want to filter for a few things. So I'm gonna go here and I'm going to say under ID just type 1. So it's only going to show me 1 of the record where ID equal 1. So I'm going to leave the screen open so we can put it side by side here. And then go to reports. And now if I open up my report, in theory, it will only show me 1 record where the ID is 1. So let's see if this works. Voila! There you have it. So it's showing me where the ID is 1. Great. Now how about if you want your users to have flexibility to enter certain kind of information, and based on that the report will be generating. We can do that easily as well. So what we could do is we can put a prompt in here and ask the user whatever information that we want to ask them, and then based on that display. So in this case we want to ask the user what ID number you want to display this information for. So I'm going to add a open bracket and then type in whatever text that I want to show the person. So in this case, I'll say, please, hang on, let me move my cursor over so I can actually see. Please enter ID number. And then close bracket. And then I want to save it. And now, in theory, it's going to prompt my user to enter an ID, and based on the ID, whatever number that they enter is going to display the report. So let's see if this works. So it asks, please enter ID number. So I'm going to ask for only record number 2. I'll click OK, and then there it is. It's record number 2. So if I open it up again, if I ask for record number 3, it only shows me record number 3. So as you can see, by using queries in the background, you have a greater flexibility in terms of data manipulation. So I hope that helps you. So this is pretty much the end of the basic training section of this Access training. In the next section, we're going to build a really small but very effective application in this database. So I will see you guys in the next video.